Floyd Mayweather just filed a lawsuit claiming that his business manager scammed him out of $175 million. Let's go.
This is Pocket Watching with JT.
Hey, Pocket Watchers, I am certified financial planner Jayson Thornton, and this is the Scam Shakedown. This is where I react to the financial failures of your favorite celebrities and influencers so you can get the financial lesson without going through the trouble. Let's go, Pocket Watching. On this episode, I will be reacting to the lawsuit filed by Floyd Money Mayweather Jr., claiming that he was scammed out of $175 million from his ex-business manager. Now, before I dig into the numbers, let's give this brother his flowers. Floyd Mayweather Jr. was born February the 24th, 1977 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Born into a boxing family. His father, Floyd Mayweather Sr., and his uncle, Roger Mayweather, big names in the boxing world, but Floyd would even grow bigger with even more accomplishments. This man ended his career 50-0. 50 wins, no losses. During that time, he captured 15 major world titles. And let me tell you, the man was paid very, very well while doing it. He has taken home some of the biggest jackpots in the world of boxing. But the question we have to ask is, how does he end up here? How does he end up on Pocket Watching with JT? Well, according to the paperwork, on May the 21st, 2026, Floyd Mayweather Jr., along with his various LLCs, filed a lawsuit against Jonah Rechnitz. Now, let's take a look at the stats here. May the 21st, 2026, in the Supreme Court of the state of New York, Floyd Money Mayweather Jr. is claiming that Jonah, his de facto investment manager and real estate advisor, claiming that he was scammed out of over $175 million. How do we get here? Well, first and foremost, we have to ask the question, who is Jonah? Who is this man? Based on his public information and his bio, Jonah was born in 1982 in California into an affluent and very well-connected family. He attended very prestigious private Jewish high schools and universities. When he graduated from college, he then entered into the real estate industry, following the footsteps of his father, Robert. One of his first jobs was back in 2007, where Jonah secured a position in the U.S. branch of a prominent international development firm, Africa Israel Investments. But then in 2011, Jonah launched his own business, a Midtown Manhattan-based real estate investment firm that he called JSR Capital. He would then later pivot from commercial property development into luxury asset brokering. What is that? Well, apparently his job was he would secure very luxury items, diamonds and cars and all these things for celebrities. He was the middleman, the broker to get celebrities all the fancy toys they wanted. Okay, so how do we get here? How do we get to a nice businessman who is just trying to serve his clientele and this very famous, Mount Rushmore of boxers ending up in the courtroom? Let's take a look at the Scam Shakedown timeline according to the lawsuit. Floyd Money Mayweather first met with Jonah back in 2017. Over several years, Jonah represents himself as a highly successful, ultra-connected real estate mogul to build a close personal and business relationship with Floyd. It wasn't until 2024, July 1st, 2024, when the business transactions really started happening. During this time, Jonah directs Floyd company, his promotional company, Mayweather Promotions LLC, to wire $7.5 million from its Wells Fargo bank account into Jonah's hand-picked shell company at JP Morgan Chase Bank. Now, Jonah tells Floyd that the funds will be placed into a high-yielding, safe 12-month investment vehicle. The wire transfer instruction explicitly carries the written note that this is for a 12-month investment. What's the problem? According to the lawsuit, no investment was ever made. No return is ever paid. No investment paperwork is ever provided to Floyd. Floyd claims that Jonah and his partners completely pocket the cash. $7.5 million gone into the wind. Okay. Later that month, July 2024, Jonah then orchestrates a heavy hard money loan of $13 million from a company called Hankey Capital LLC. Now, this loan is secured by Floyd's mansion in Miami Beach. Okay. What are we doing this for? Jonah convinces Floyd that they need to leverage his real estate to expand his portfolio. All right. Now, what actually happened according to the lawsuit? Jonah directs only approximately $4 million to go to Floyd's promotional company, Mayweather Promotions, for operating cash. Where'd the other money go? Well, they claim that Jonah diverts $6.5 million of the loan to buy a 1996 G4 private jet. Now, let's kind of focus here. Floyd has this mansion in Miami, and he then takes out a $13 million loan to do what? To have $4 million of operating cash for his company and a private jet. That doesn't seem fiscally responsible, but okay. Next, October the 10th, 2024, Jonah organizes another, even larger cross-collateralized loan of $16.4 million from the same company. This time, it is secured as a first lien on 4 of Floyd's personal real estate properties. Now, they say that on closing day, a massive chunk of the loan, exactly $811,463.77, is wired directly into a business account controlled by Jonah, the same account at Chase Bank. Mayweather Promotions only receives $2.5 million of the cash. Now, Floyd claims that he never authorized this allocation of the loan proceeds. The defendants never gave any explanation, return, or accounting of where the $8.8 million went. Okay. Now, in November the 6th, 2024, and November the 12th, 2024, we got some stuff going here. We got Floyd's company, Veda Properties, NYC LLC, signs a contract to buy 5% of a Class A membership interest in Morningside Affordable Housing Group LLC from Black Spruce Development LLC for a documented acquisition price of $31,500,000. What's going on, Jonah? Why are we doing this? Jonah tells the media and Floyd that they are buying a huge 62 building, 1,000 apartment Manhattan affordable housing portfolio for $402 million. All right. On November 6th, Jonah has Floyd sign a distribution proceeds letter directing him to 80% of all future cash distributions from the portfolio will go to Mayweather Promotions, while 20% goes straight to that bank account that is controlled by Jonah. All right, I'm not liking this. Here we go. December the 23rd, 2024 through January the 10th, 2025. We have Jonah. He gets Floyd to sign 5 different binding purchase letters of intent to buy a commercial building located at 11966 6th Avenue in New York City for a purchase price of $27 million. Floyd pays a $1 million contract deposit for the purchase. On January 10th, 2025, Jonah diverts that $1 million deposit and directs it to be paid to Pristine Jewelers NY Inc. instead of the real estate escrow account. Why does Jonah have the ability to direct your money, Floyd? I don't quite get it, but maybe we'll learn a little later here. It says the property purchase does not close. I wonder why. Because they never got the $1 million deposit. The property purchase does not close. The $1 million is never returned to Floyd. All right, here we go. March the 31st, 2025 through April the 16th, 2025. We have an attorney that is installed by Jonah organizing a company called 9504 Kingsgate Court LLC. This is in Nevada. Now, the reason being is this is supposed to be a company that holds the title to Floyd's Las Vegas residence. Floyd then signs an operating agreement, making this attorney the initial manager of the company with the sole disbursement power. Hold on a second, Floyd. Hold on. So you got Jonah. Jonah is hiring an attorney to start an LLC for you. Starting an LLC is not a very complicated process, but okay, you get this attorney, he creates this LLC, then you make the attorney the manager of the LLC. For those of you who don't know, an LLC is either member manage or manager manage. What does that mean? That means a member managed LLC is an LLC that is ran by the people who own it. But if it is a manager managed LLC, that means that company is ran by someone appointed by the owners. Why are you appointing this new attorney who you don't have a strong relationship with? Jonah is the person who has this so-called relationship with this attorney. You let him create the LLC, and now he runs it, and he has the ability to say where the money goes. That's not going to turn out very well for you. So just to go over this, on April the 16th, 2025, this attorney refinances Floyd's home with U.S. Bank for a loan of $8.2 million. Where does the money go? Well, according to the lawsuit, $6,057,280 of that loan money goes to pay off that first loan that Jonah got for Floyd earlier on. So that mortgage is now paid off, but now you got this $8.2 million loan. But okay, all right, the first people are paid off. Where does the rest of the money go? The net cash of $2,127,826. Where does that go? Now, it is claimed to be dispersed as balance due to buyer, right? Supposed to go back to Floyd. The problem is it goes, right, because of the LLC, it goes to the account managed by the attorney hired by Jonah. According to the lawsuit, that attorney then immediately, once again, he immediately wires the entire $2,127,826 directly to the Chase account controlled by Jonah. All right, now we have the spring and summer of 2025. Floyd is owed a massive $15 million settlement and proceeds from a legal claim involving SL Green Realty Corporation. Because of his position as Floyd's banking liaison, the manager of his disbursement account, the lawyer, holds control over the funds. How, Floyd? Why are you giving this attorney that you don't know, that Jonah knows, so much control over your money? So now this attorney has control over $15 million. All right, where does the money go? It says at Jonah's secret direction, the attorney takes the entire $15 million settlement and transfers it to, what do you guys think the money went? Any guesses? Any guesses? It goes to the business bank account controlled by Jonah. We got to do better. We got to do better. Floyd never authorizes this transfer, but I want to remind you, I don't think you had to authorize the transfer because you appointed this attorney as the manager of this LLC where the money went, and now he has the authority to move the money where I guess he wants to move the money because he's the manager of the company and he's not even reporting to you because you gave him too much power. He should have some sort of check and balance to say, hey, there needs to be 2 signatures on checks, this, that, and another. But apparently that wasn't the case. All right, next step. In August 2025, facing a massive liquidity and cash flow crisis due to the high interest loans, unpaid taxes, and bills, Floyd hands over a legendary personal jewelry collection that reports to have a value of $100 million. What? Okay. There's so many red flags here. Okay. You have a collection, a jewelry collection worth $100 million, but you have high interest debt, you have unpaid taxes, and you just got regular unpaid bills. Priorities, people. We got to have some priorities. So he has $100 million worth of jewelry that he then hands off to Miami jewelry dealers for a loan. Guess whose big brain idea it is to get this loan? We have Jonah acting as a broker to secure the emergency cash advance from the jewelers. Once again, all this is going to the pawn shop at a much higher level. See, many of you are probably familiar with, people who fall on hard times. They don't have a lot of cash. They go to a local pawn shop. They give their TV. They give whatever, electronics, furniture, whatever it is. They give the pawn shop their items. The pawn shop then gives them a loan for less than the value of the property. But if they don't repay the loan, the property is then owned by the pawn shop. This is the same thing. It's just being done by a multi-millionaire for some odd reason, being directed by Jonah. But okay, back to the story here. So the dealer only advances approximately $13 million. This is 13% of the actual value of the jewelry. So Floyd Mayweather hands over $100 million worth of jewelry to basically a pawn shop, and the pawn shop owners give him $13 million. With there's text messages. There's always text messages. Apparently, there was an iMessage group message between Floyd and the pawn shop owners or the jewelry store owners, whatever you want to call them, and Jonah. Now, the jewelry store owner sends a message that says, if I do not receive a large payment on monies due, I will start to liquidate the merchandise. And Jonah texts back, agreed, thanks. Jonah ain't got no problem because this is not Jonah's jewelry. Jonah has no problem with that deal whatsoever. So here we go. On November 2025, at Jonah's direction, Floyd executes an official Federal Aviation Administration aircraft bill of sale. See, now we're selling that 1996 G4. Okay. All right, here we go. Jonah tells Floyd that they are selling the jet to cover immediate financial obligations, which includes a Bugatti related bill. A Bugatti is a very, 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 very expensive automobile. So we are selling the very, very, very expensive jet to get some cash, to pay some bills, which includes paying off a bill related to a very, very expensive car. Okay. But here's the problem: the jet is sold, but Floyd has absolutely no idea who bought it, what the real sale price was, or where the money went. Okay. Now, January 1st, 2026, Jonah sends an email captioned distribution of Upper Manhattan portfolio to the real estate executives, Harrison and Joshua. What's going on with this email? Well, inside the email, Jonah instructs them to pay 20% of the distributions cut directly, once again, to the business account at Chase Bank that is directed under the control of Jonah. May 19th, 2026, May 21st, 2026, Floyd realizes his empire has been systematically hollowed out. Really, Floyd? You're realizing something's going wrong here. He hires the high-stakes New York commercial litigator Leo Jacobs of Jacobs PC. On May the 19th, 2026, Floyd signs the official verified complaint, right? On May the 21st, 2026, Jacobs PC officially files the lawsuit, the complaint, with the Supreme Court of New York, demanding an immediate full accounting, a constructive trust to freeze the bank account, right? The company bank account that Jonah has control over, and a judgment of not less than $175 million in damages. Oh boy, that's a lot. People understand that is a lot to sink in, but I want to be clear. Based on all of the relevant information provided in that lawsuit, yes, it seems as if Floyd Money Mayweather is a victim. He is a victim of this man's Jonah and his scheming. Now, I don't want to be called a victim blamer. Hate to be called a victim blamer, but the question I'm asking is, were there any red flags? Was there any things that we can point to that would have alerted Floyd that he shouldn't be doing business with this man? Not to blame the victim, but we have to look at the big picture. Were there any red flags? Well, I think there were a couple of red flags, a couple of things that if we would have highlighted them, done a little bit of what's referred to as due diligence, I don't think Floyd would have ended up in this situation. Well, what are those red flags? Well, red flag number one, according to the lawsuit itself, Floyd Money Mayweather met Jonah in 2017, years before any of these financial transactions took place. If he would have did a simple background check, he would have learned a year before they met in 2016, Jonah pled guilty to federal public corruption charges, a felony. So this man is a convicted criminal. A convicted criminal in 2016. You meet him in 2017. All of these big money transactions don't happen until at least 2024. And in all of that time, you're unaware that your man is a criminal, a convict for fraud, basically. All right. Then here's the other red flag that should have been an issue. If it wasn't an issue for Floyd himself, it should have been an issue to Floyd's team, the people around him that are supposed to be protecting this man's interests. Jonah was never licensed to be any type of money manager, businessman. Like he had no type of no type of license certification to be managing anybody's portfolio, let alone a multi-million-dollar portfolio. And one of the key signs that, hey, this man may not be very good at what he does is that he kept Floyd continuing to get high interest debt to pay off other high interest debt to eventually pay off. He just kept getting loans and loans and loans. That is a telltale sign of this person is not a very good money manager. If the answer to all your problems are, let's get a high interest loan, let's take $100 million worth of jewelry and pawn it for $13 million. That's going to help you out. That's really what you need right now. Instead of, how about we sell this $100 million worth of jewelry, pay off our debt, and just start fresh? I guess that wasn't in the cards, because apparently this man was going to lose $100 million worth of jewelry over a $13 million loan. So listen, there's a lot is going to happen in this case. We may do a part 2 to this as, events develop in the courtroom. But I've got a question for you. You may not be a multi-million-dollar elite athlete, but you may have money problems too. You may not have $100 million worth of jewelry to pawn off, but maybe you're looking around your house right now, looking at maybe your TV, your PS5, whatever it is. Maybe you're considering going to the pawn shop to free up some cash. And let me tell you right now, before you make any crazy money decisions, I invite you to learn the Pocket Watcher 7 money rules. Because I can tell you right now, even though Floyd Money Mayweather is a multi-millionaire who has access to high value, attorneys, accountants, and advisors, if he simply would have followed the 7 Pocket Watcher money rules, he would not be out $175 million. See, it all starts with number 1, budgeting. Number 2, emergency savings. Number 3, debt planning. Number 4, insurance planning. Number 5, tax planning. Number 6, wealth planning. Number 7, estate planning. If Floyd would have followed this, he would not be in a courtroom fighting for $175 million. Now, for you, you can go to my website, pocketwatcher.net, learn about the 7 Pocket Watcher money rules. You can even sign up for my free financial planning app. All you have to do is click the free app button and you can sign up 100% free so that you can have access to the financial planning app that will allow you to create your budget, allow you to track your debt, pay off your debt. There's courses inside of the app that help you learn how to implement these 7 Pocket Watcher money rules in your life. Now, if you have a personal money problem, some financial problem, some tax problem, come to the Pocket Watcher. Let me try to help you out. Sign up for a free phone consultation directly with me, the Pocket Watcher, so we can figure out some sort of game plan to get you back on your financial feet. And if there is a celebrity or influencer who that is maybe a victim of a scam, maybe they were the perpetrator of a scam, maybe they filed for bankruptcy, put their name down in the comments of this video. And when I get time, I do the best I can to get you some content. Thanks for watching.
Are you looking for real financial advice? Thornton Financial is here to help. Certified financial planner Jayson Thornton specializes in tax and wealth planning. Are you living paycheck to paycheck with no retirement plan? Do you need help with the IRS? Book your free consultation with Thornton Financial today. Budgeting, savings, debt management, and retirement. Even tax debt settlements. Get the advice you need to live your best life. Book your free consultation appointment today. Go to www.thornton-financial.com.